Hello everyone, I'm audible. Guys, if I'm audible, please do respond in the chat box. I want you people to respond. I hope that I'm audible, right? Okay, I can see many of them would have bunked the class. I don't know the reason. It might be weekend, right? Is that is the reason? Is there any specific reason? Is there any specific reason so that your friends would have missed the class? Yes, please do respond. Is there any specific reason? I think you might be aware, right? That's the reason I'm asking. Okay, fine. Without wasting any more time, let me just start with the class. Just study online. From study online, you're learning Python full stack. Guys, if I'm not wrong, today happens to be the day 5 demo class. Yes or no? Today happens to be the day 5 demo class. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me just share you the screen. Please tell me, are you people able to see the screen? Yes or no? Are you able to see the screen? Guys, I want a very quick response from your side. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. I have to do some settings with the video. Okay, I think okay, that's perfect. Okay, show you. Okay, okay. This will not look nice. Yep. Okay, no issues. Let me just start. I think I was just playing around some video activity. Okay, when it comes to day 1, day 2, all those things, let's see later. Now, I want you, before going to day 5, guys, before going to day 5, I would like to create a page. In this page, what we will do, I'll just tell Python topics. Till now, whatever I have covered. Python topics. Fine. I want you people to respond and I want your participation so that I can just write it in a very quick manner. Don't you think history of Python is what we have learned? Yes or no? History of Python is what I have taught. Next, after history of Python, don't you think features of Python is what I have discussed? Meanwhile, listen and tell me who invented Python? Listen to the words, what I'm saying, and tell me who invented Python? As I can't see the response in the chat box. Who invented Python? Very good. Guido van Rossum, and printing the data like in C, Java, Python, all those things is what we have discussed on day 1. Guys, trust me, this is what the content that I have delivered on day 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what the content that I have delivered. Similarly, when it comes to day 2 also, let's see what are the topics that I have covered. When it comes to day 2, don't you think I have started off with history of language? Now tell me, when high-level language came into existence, could you please tell me the year? From which year the high-level language came into existence? 1960s onwards. Okay. And please tell me, are you aware of the topic name called as what is assembler? What is assembler? What is compiler? Are you aware of this topic? If somebody is asking the definition, are you aware of that? Similarly, when it comes to conversion of high-level language into machine-level language, how many ways are there? If you want to convert the high-level language into machine-level language, how many ways are there? 2 ways. Very good. Which are those 2 ways? Using compiler, we can do it. Using interpreter, we can do it. I hope you people are completely aware of that. Similarly, if somebody is asking what is compilation, and what is interpretation, hope that you will be able to tell the clear answer for them. That's what I have discussed on day 2. Similarly, please tell me, is Python a compiled language or interpreted language? What kind of language is Python? So I want you to respond, yes. What kind of language is Python? Very good. It's both compiled and interpreted. It's a hybrid programming language. From the execution point of view, Python is interpretive. Similarly, when compared to Python and C, which is very fast. When compared to Python and C, which is very fast. At last, I have just given the overview of full stack. What is overview of full stack is what I have given. Similarly, let's come back to day 3. Okay, sir, what you have discussed on day 3, sir? Wait a minute. Let me just de-highlight this. Okay, when it comes to day 3, what I have discussed, if you ask me, please do respond whether it's correct or not. Execution of Python program is what I have discussed. Execution of Python program. Guys, today how many ways are there when it comes to executing a Python program? How many ways are there? 3 ways. 3 ways. Have you learned all the 3 ways? At least by now, have you learned all the 3 ways? Yes or no? Have you learned all the 3 ways? At least I hope you would have learned Sublime Text. As another time comes, we'll mark PyCharm, Anaconda, everything. I hope now you would have learned. That's what I have discussed on day 3. Similarly, installation of Python, versions of Python, flavors of Python, modes in Python. 2 modes are there, script mode, interactive mode. That's what I have discussed. That's it. That's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I have discussed on that particular day, right? I say, so or no? I say, if you respond, you'll understand. Trust me. Oh shit. I think it has not been copied. It's my bad. Okay, still it is there. Copy, come back, paste. Yep. Yep. I think this is also been copied. Let's not copy this. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no in the chat box? Whatever I have written here. Same thing is what I have discussed, right? Same thing, no change at all. Similarly, when it comes to day 4, what is the topic that I have discussed? When it comes to day 4, what is the topic that I have discussed? Now, if you could respond, I can proceed in a very fast manner. Only 2 topics, I know that. That's the reason I'm asking. Reserved words or keywords in Python. Please tell me how many reserved words are there in Python or how many keywords are there? Very good. See, you are only telling the answer. That's very good. What are the answers that you're telling is perfect. Don't you think 33 reserved keywords are there? 33. Now, please tell me how many rules are there when it comes to identifier. Now, don't ask me, sir, what is identifier at all. Clear picture I have given by taking the examples. Fine. Please tell me how many rules are there when it comes to identifiers. Very good, very good. Totally, there are 6 rules. This is what I have discussed. Yes or no? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I have discussed from day 1 till today. Let's see what I'll be discussing on day 5. Let's see that. I'll just tell day 5 I will tell. Okay, shall I start with the class? Maybe if you could respond yes, I can just start with the class. Okay, great. Guys, is there any confusion for anyone when it comes to day 1 to day 4? Is there any confusion? I hope no, right? I hope no. And have you done the task, whatever I have given? Please do respond. Have you done the task? Is it done? Is it done? Guys, shorter task is what I have given. I know you might not be completing this task. It requires some time, but don't you think installing Python, installing Sublime is just a matter of 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes? Correct, right? It's just a matter of 5 minutes installing Sublime Text as well as Python. Now let's do one thing. Let's take up one more file. I'll just name it as day 5. Okay, I'll just start with the topic. Please do respond whether people are able to understand or not. Start Times New Roman and the text will be 18. Okay, shall I start? If you respond yes, I'll start. Guys, I want a very clear picture from your side. Maybe it's up to you how you gonna respond. Okay. Now, the very important topic, introduction, is what I'm going to give in order to take up the brand new concept in Python. Because directly I can't start data types in Python. Before you getting the knowledge of data type, you should be aware of why data type is required. What is data type? Because I think already few people might be aware of Python. It doesn't matter for me. Fine, from scratch, I'm going to teach. Now, I'll be starting off with introduction to object orientation. Why? Because there is a correlation. There is a correlation between introduction to object orientation. There is a correlation between the topic, whatever I'm going to discuss now, and with the next topic, whatever I'm going to take. For a couple of days, I have to discuss the data type, guys. No one I'm telling. For a couple of days, I have to discuss. I'll just let's attempt use no one, and let me just tell 80. Okay. Now, if you hear the term object orientation for the first time, it doesn't matter. Fine. Please tell me, do you know the English meaning of orientation? Anybody in the class? What is orientation? What is object? Just tell me. If you know what is object, please do let me know. If you know what is orientation, please do let me know. Yes, I want a very quick response from your side. What is an object? What is orientation? That's it. Yes, I can't see any response in the chat box. Okay, a few people are telling, sir, object means real world entity, sir. Sandesh, object. Watch, I think today I forgot to wear. Watch is an object. Laptop is an object. Camera is an object. Mouse is an object. Mobile phone is an object. That means the entity which exists in real world is called as an object. That means if somebody is asking, it's a real world entity. Will you agree with my point? As a basic definition of object is what I have given. Maybe in detail definition I'll give it, don't worry. It's a real world entity. Similarly, what is orientation? Could you people please tell me what is orientation? Right now you understood what is object. It's a real world entity. Everything is an object. Everything. What we see is an object. What we don't see is also an object. What is orientation? English meaning? Guys, orientation is pretty simple. No need to think that much. Perspective. That's it. What is my orientation towards Python? What is your orientation towards Python? That means orientation means it's a perspective. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no in the chat box? As I want everyone to respond. Give me a minute. Just trying to play around something. It's okay. I think in Node Word, I know in Notepad, I know it's okay. Let's figure it out. No issues. Now, if somebody is asking what is an object, what is orientation, your answer should be pretty simple from now onwards. Please tell me, whenever you want to construct a house, guys, whenever you want to construct a house or whenever you want to join a course, don't you think you will be having a blueprint of that course before you start learning something, before you start constructing your house? Don't you think you'll be having a blueprint? Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct, right? Similarly, before you start doing anything using object, every object belongs to a class. That means for an object, a class will be there. Don't you think I'm a human being? I'm an object. Assume that Sandesh is an object which belongs to a class called as human being. Will you agree with my point? Acer laptop is an object which belongs to a class called as laptop. I hope you're able to understand. Now, let me give you the definition of all those things, whatever I have discussed till now. Observe and tell me whether it is correct or not. Sir, what, sir? Everything's in a single shot you have written, sir. Don't worry, you will be able to understand. If somebody is asking what is object orientation, your answer should be object orientation is a way of looking at this real world as a collection of objects. Because everything is an object in this real world. If you look at this real world as a collection of objects, that is only called as object orientation. Now, first you just learn what is an object. Fine, just learn what is an object. An object is a real world entity which exists in reality. Exists means it exists. That means it is there in the reality. Then what is orientation? Orientation means pretty simple, guys. Perspective. That's it. The way of looking or point of view. I hope you people are able to understand what I'm saying. Are you able to understand? Please do respond. Are you able to understand the way of looking at something or perspective, point of view, which is only nothing but orientation. If you read this combiningly, object orientation is a way of looking at this real world as a collection of object. Then what is class, sir? Now, guys, I'll speak. Trust me. You can ask the previous batch student. More than 30 hours is what I'll speak about object orientation. More than 30 hours. What industry is expecting from a person? Well, because without object orientation, you can't be called as a developer. You cannot start doing the coding activity, fine, without object orientation. But as of now, I'm just giving the introduction to take up the next topic called as data type. What is class? Fine. How many types of class are? Everything I'll tell you. But as of now, just to give you the glimpse, a class is a real world entity which does not exist in reality. Sir, what, sir? For object you told which exists in reality, but for class you told which doesn't exist in reality. It's a blueprint, it seems. We are not able to understand, sir. Sandesh, object or class? Tell me the answer. Sandesh, I'm in front of you, right? Object or class? Object. Very good. Object. If somebody is asking you to show Sandesh, you can show me and you can just tell, see, Sandesh object is taking the class. I belong to human being class. Can you show human being? Is that possible to show a human being? No. If somebody is telling show human being, you'll show the object. We can't show class. I hope you are getting the clarity, right? That means class is a real world entity which does not exist in reality. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Yes, please do respond. Is that clear? Similarly, object is a real world entity which exists in reality. That's it. And you know what is orientation? Now, I'll just do one thing. I'll be writing couple of diagrams. Diagram number 1. Similarly, diagram number 2. Similarly, diagram number 3. I'll not be writing. I'll be pasting the diagram so that let's explain as early as possible. Let's see how many of them will understand. Diagram number 1, diagram number 2. Should I display diagram number 1? Will that be fine if I display diagram number 1? So that it's a demo class. It might take much time. That's the reason I just came up with the diagram. Don't worry, you'll be able to understand. When it comes to diagram number 1, please observe here. Sir, what, sir? So many things you have written, but we are not able to understand. Don't worry, you'll be able to understand. I'll make you to understand. That's my job. Okay. If you just look at diagram number 1, let's not write diagram number 1. Why we have to write? Already it's there in the diagram itself. Okay, cool. Guys, if you just look at this real world, so assume that this is a world. Many people will be having many perspective towards this world. Let's take a kid. When we were a kid at that point of time, our perspective will be completely playing. I think nowadays nobody will be playing cricket. It might be volleyball. It might be any other games, right? Many of them avoid it. Many of them. Fine. Guys, I just want to share. When it comes to playing, I just remember in our childhood days, just to purchase a ball, I think for that ball, it might be around some 5 rupees or 10 rupees. I don't remember the exact cost. I think maximum 5 rupees, 10 rupees, right? Yes or no? I'm speaking about a couple of years back. It doesn't mean that I'm an uncle. Fine. I'm also plus 5 years, whatever your age. Maybe if you're a student, that's it. Not more than that. I think 4 or 5 years. That's it. Okay. Don't you think 10 rupees? We used to put 2 rupees, 1 rupee, and we used to purchase a ball. Now we have the capability, or now we have the capacity of buying a complete cricket kit worth rupees 30,000. But will not get the friends, will not get the players. Is it correct or not? Please tell me, is that correct or not? Whatever I'm saying, 100% that's correct. Maybe if you haven't experienced, you will experience in future. That is for true. I think good old memories. Yep. When it comes to student, his perspective towards the real world will be fun and exams. With respect to wife, her perspective will be caring. And let me not read this. When it comes to politician, his perspective will be scam and politics. When it comes to beggar, his perspective towards real world will be food. That's it. That's what his perspective. Working person, money and knowledge. Husband, tension and problem. When it comes to normal person, he will just see this particular world as a place where it is meant for living. That's it. Don't you think like this? Many people will be having many perspective towards the world. This is only called as object orientation. Is that clear? How are you going to look at this real world? how we're going to look at this particular entity is only nothing but object orientation. Shall I proceed with the next diagram? As if you could respond, I can just proceed with the next diagram. Trust me, next diagram is very simple. Next diagram is very simple. Okay, but the main thing is you have to observe. Okay, observe so that you'll be able to understand the diagram. It's not a very big deal to understand this diagram. Guys, I hope you understood the diagram, right? Do you want me to write the diagram from scratch? No, right? Will you write the diagram in your notes? Will you write the diagram in your notes? No, no. Guys, please write. Please write the diagram. When it comes to diagram number 2, what you have to observe, if you ask me, let's consider Python. Let's consider Python. Fine, let's consider Python. If you consider Python, don't you think for a student it is just a subject? His perspective will have subject. For a Python developer, it's a programming language. That's what your perspective towards Python entity. Yes or no? If you just look at this Python, whether it's an object or class, later we will see. But don't you think you will see from different perspective as a Python developer? As a job seeker, it is just a platform or it's just an entity where he can get his job. But from a normal person, if you tell Python, don't you think he will think it might be a snake? Because there is a snake called as Python. Is that clear for everyone? Shall I proceed further? Next diagram is very important. Everything will come in this particular diagram. Shall I write next diagram? Okay, great. Now, please tell me, or just tell me whether it is correct or not, whatever I have written. Many of them are asking, sir, we are getting confused between object and class, sir. For what we have to call object, for what we have to call class, we don't know, sir. No, that's the reason I'm here. I don't know what happened for this. Just give me a minute. Oh, this diagram. Okay, is it visible, guys? Is the diagram number 3 visible for everyone? Yes or no? Guys, many of them are joining the session late. I don't want these things to be continued further. Fine. Okay. Now, please observe diagram number 3. Class. What is a class? Could you people, guys, before you seeing this, could you people please take the definition of a class in the chat box? Take 30 seconds of time. Take the definition. Entity that doesn't exist in reality. I want everyone to type in the chat box. I know you're very fast in typing, but because you have experience in typing in Instagram and WhatsApp, that's the reason. Could you people type in the chat box? What is a class? A blueprint of an object. Very good. It's entity that doesn't exist in reality. Very good. Very good. Very good. I can see many of them are responding in the chat box. Seriously, I'm very happy. Okay. Next, what is an object? If somebody is asking what is an object, your answer should be entity that exists in reality. Now, Python, Java, C++, are objects. If somebody is asking show Python, you can show Python, right? Go to www.python.org, show Python. There is Python. You can show Python code. You can show Java code. But if somebody is asking programming language, it's an entity that doesn't exist in reality. Is that clear or not? Please do respond. I want a response from your side. Is that clear? Similarly, if somebody is asking you to show a dog, you can just show a dog. See, that's a dog. If somebody is asking show cat, you can show. Why? Because cat exists in reality, elephant exists in reality, lion exists in reality. But can you show animal? No, you can't show. If somebody is asking animal, ultimately you will show object. You can't show the animal. All these objects belong to a class called as animal. Similarly, if somebody is asking Sandesh, is an object. Asfan is an object, belongs to human being. Royal Enfield, KTM, Active Honda, or the object belongs to a class called as bike. Similarly, Acer, HP, Lenovo, all these company laptop is an object. Laptop is a class. Is that clear? iPhone, OnePlus, Redmi, Lenovo, Oppo, everything is an object which belongs to a class called as mobile. How many of them understood this diagram number 3? Yes, sir. Perfectly understood, sir. How many of them? Respond yes or no in the chat box. I felt this is very simple. That's the reason I have this displayed in the form of a diagram. Okay, shall I proceed further? You have to respond. Shall I proceed further? Okay. Now listen properly. Every object will be having two parts. How many parts, guys? Every object will be having two parts. Okay, sir. Which are those two parts, sir? Sandesh object will be having has part, will be having does part. Again, I'm telling Sandesh object is having has part, does part. Sandesh has eyes, ears, nose, lips, shoulder, arm, that is hand, whatever it may be. Sandesh does teaching, cycling, jogging, running, walking, eating, sleeping, dash dash ing. That's it. Don't you think every object will be having a has part, does part? Yes or no? Please don't respond. Every object you take, any object you take, every object will be having two parts. Let me write that. Now, in case of Python, this is very important, guys. Trust me, this is very important point. Sir, what is that point, sir? You only observe objects will be having two parts. First one has part, second one does part. In order to handle the has part of an object, we have to use something called as data types. What is that? Could you people respond in the chat box? What is that we have to use in order to handle has part? As I want you to respond in the chat box. Very good, data types. Similarly, in order to handle the does part of an object, we should make use of methods or functions. What is the difference between method? What is the difference between function? Everything I'll tell you. But as of now, again, I'll be asking the question by scrolling down. Please tell me, in order to handle does part, what is that is used in Python? In order to handle does part, remember, let's see how many of them are having a very good IQ level and concentration power. Methods or function, either methods or function, that's it. Don't tell modules, not modules, methods or functions, that's it. Yes, Kaveshri, that's correct. Yes. Okay, now tell me, in order to handle has part of an object, what do we have? As in order to handle a has part of an object, what do we have in Python? Please do respond. Very good. Don't you think we have something called as data types? Now I'll display one diagram. Please tell me, are you able to understand this diagram or not? Sir, what, sir? I think in Kannada we have Mahatithura diagram. Guys, don't you think if I represent something in a pictorial manner, you will be able to understand in a very better manner? Yes or no? If I represent something in a pictorial manner, it is very easy for you to understand instead of writing a lengthy notes and all. Correct, right? Okay, don't worry, going ahead, once I start coding part, along with diagram, you'll see coding. I'm not saying I'll not write the diagram. Why it is not coming? Okay, cool. Guys, don't worry, you'll be able to understand this Chota diagram. Trust me, it's a Chota diagram. Okay, now if you observe this diagram number 4 properly, please tell me, guys, I have just taken a bike. Guys, you have to observe the spotlight, whatever I'm just displaying. Don't see everything. Bike, is it a class or object? You tell me the answer. Rest of the things don't see. Bike, is it a class or object? You just tell me that answer. Class. Very good. Royal Enfield, is it a bike or Royal Enfield, is it an object or class? Object. Royal Enfield object has part, does part. Technically, let's just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Technically, in the industry, for has part, we will call it as state of an object or properties of an object. For does part, we will call it as behavior of an object or actions. Is that fine? Again, I will tell. For has part, we will call it as state of an object or properties of an object. For does part, we will call it as behavior, actions. Has part will be handled by data type. Does part will be handled by methods or functions. Now, if I take the properties of an object, has part of an object, state of an object, that took Royal Enfield, don't you think? Royal Enfield has wheels, color, cost, engine, tank, brake, seat, etc. Similarly, what does this Royal Enfield do? That means behavior will be handled by method. How to handle? Later we will see. But what does this Royal Enfield have? If you ask me, what does this Royal Enfield do? If you ask me, use behavior. We can ride, we can start, we can stop, we can change the gear, we can increase the speed, we can turn on the lights, we can make some dugu dugu sound or whatever it may be fine. Is that fine? Like this, I can just keep on writing the actions. Now, inside Royal Enfield also, two things will come, like classic, Electra. For that also, you can just write the has part of classic, does part of classic, has part of Electra, does part of Electra. Like this, you can write it. Is that clear for everyone with respect to this diagram number 4? Yes or no in the chat box? I want a quick response. Is that clear? Yes, please do respond at the earliest. Okay, now shall I take up data type concept? Shall I take up data types? Guys, trust me, I have to speak around next 3 to 4 days only upon data types. Trust me. Why, sir? Why you have to speak only upon data types, sir? When it comes to Python, totally there are 14 data types. How many data types are there in Python? Could you people please do respond? How many data types are there in Python? 14 data types are there in Python. Is that fine? Guys, please do respond. Okay. Now, let me take up the heading. Let me take up the heading called as data types. Wait, it is. I think what happened for this? Yep. Okay. Sir, what, sir? Everything in a single shot you have written. Don't worry. You will be able to understand what is there in that. If I explain, you will understand. Okay. Yep. Guys, when it comes to data type, already you are aware. That's the reason directly I have just written. Don't you think data type is an entity? Is an entity which is used to handle the has part of an object. Already you have learned. Now, data types are used to collect the real world data and provide that real world data to RAM. Then it will be given to microprocessor. Sir, we didn't understand, sir. Don't worry. I'll show you the diagram at the last. At the last, I'll show you the diagram. Now tell me, guys, totally 14 data types are there in Python. Among that 14, how many basic, how many advanced? I think clearly I have written. How many basic, how many advanced? Among 14, how many basic? Yes, it's pretty simple, right? Is it a very difficult topic? No. 9 basic, 5 advanced. If you are not aware of at least these things also, somehow you can manage. Fine. But if you don't know anything about these things, trust me, you can't survive in the industry. Is that clear? Please do respond. Let me start reading. Int, float, complex, boolean, bytes, byte array, range, none, frozen set. Similarly, list, tuple, set, dictionary, string. These are the advanced data type that is available in Python. Is that fine? I'll be speaking minimum 35 hours only upon this advanced data type in Python. Is that fine? Only on this advanced data type only I'll be speaking about 30 to 35 hours. Then you can imagine the depth of the content that I'll be doing. Now, I'll display a diagram. Let's see how many of them will be able to understand. Let me just do one thing. Let me just display this diagram. Yep. Diagram number 5 of today's class. Okay. Guys, if you consider real world data, the data might be in the form of integer. For example, my age, my height. Are you getting my point? My age, my height, or my weight. Correct, right? But integer means a proper data without any decimal point. If it is integer type data, then it will be stored using int data type. That means it will convert the real world data into machine level language where the RAM will, that is where it will be placed on the RAM by PVM. Later, this machine level language will be given to microprocessor. Next, real type data, my weight. Assume that I'll be saying my weight, my height, 6.1, 6.0, something like that. Fine. Then it is stored using a data type called as float. Similarly, if somebody is saying character type data, Sandesh, study online, Python, Java, character. Fine, character type data will be stored using string, that is str. Similarly, yes or no type data, boolean, like this. If you want to store image, video, audio, anything like this, the real world data will keeps on coming. All those things can be stored using advanced data type. Is that fine? Because I have not written every data type here. Every 14 data types I have not written. But I hope the sentence, whatever I have written, makes sense. Data types are used to collect the real world data, and provide the data to a RAM in the form of machine level language. In between, so many things will come. Python compiler will come. But as of now, are you able to understand this diagram? Yes or no in the chat box. I want a very quick response from your side. Are you able to understand this diagram, guys? Please do respond. I hope yes. Okay, cool. Now, let me just do one thing. Let me just display. Guys, just tell me the basic components of computer. If you just consider computer, fine. Please tell me, what is the basic component of a computer? As I want you to respond. What is the basic component of a computer? CPU. Okay, CPU, that's fine. Inside CPU, what will be there? That's what I'm asking. CPU, that's perfectly correct. Whatever you're telling is perfectly correct. But inside CPU, first, guys, let me be very clear. So that you'll be able to understand. Organization of memory is the next heading. That's the reason. Organization of memory is what my next heading. Let me just take organization of memory in Python, how it happens. Fine. Forget about Python for time being. Let's take this particular notepad plus plus, or let's take this OneNote itself. Let's take this OneNote as an example. Please tell me, if I don't save this data, don't you think it will not be recorded somewhere? If I don't save notepad file, don't you think it will be there on the RAM when I'm executing or when I'm using? As soon as I close that, it won't be there. That means if I want to execute anything, assume that Zoom is there, Zoom is open, assume that notepad is open, assume that notepad plus plus is open, assume that OneNote is open, everything will be placed on the RAM. Yes or no? In the form of machine level language. Will you agree with my point? Because it might be anything. Correct or not? Yes or no? Next, RAM and microprocessor will be interconnected. That's the reason if you provide the machine level language to a microprocessor, you'll be able to get the output. But if you want to save the file, assume that you'll be working with Python. Just give me 1 minute. Assume that you'll be working with Python. At that point of time, if you want to save the file, then don't you think you will save the file as demo.py? If you, as well as you tell demo.py, don't you think it will be saved within hard disk? Will you agree with my point? Yes or no in the chat box? Now tell me, these are the main components that is required. So I want a quick response from your side. These are the main components that is required. Okay. Yes, yeah, graphic card, all those things, that's fine. Yes, without graphic card also, you can execute and you can just play around. Let's just give me 1 minute. I'll be back. I think someone is there at the door. Let me just open the door and I'll come back. Meanwhile, just have a look at this diagram. Okay, I'm really sorry for that. Yep. Let me just come down. Yep. Guys, now don't you think if you consider Java also, if you consider Notepad also, these three things are very important. Now, how come the Python file will be executed? If you want the overview, not in detail I'll speak. When the time comes 100%, I'll speak. But now tell me, will this diagram give you the overview of memory of Python? That is memory allocation of Python. Sir, what diagram, sir? Don't worry. Diagram number 6. Observe properly, guys. Observe properly. When it comes to hard disk drive, it's a volatile. Sorry, it's a non-volatile. That means permanently we can store the data. Random access memory, RAM, is volatile or temporary storage just to execute the program. Now, don't you think this demo.py, if you save, it should be loaded on the RAM, that is in the form of machine level language. In between, two things will happen. Can I expect you people to tell the answer? From this blue color line, whatever I have written, from hard disk to machine level language, two important system software will come into picture. Which are those? First, guys, you should not tell compiler. Python compiler. There is a difference between compiler and Python compiler. Yes or no? Python compiler. After Python compiler, one more software. Python compiler will generate the bytecode. Later, that bytecode will be converted into machine level language by interpreter. Interpreter. Is that fine? That is PVM. PVM. Python compiler, Python interpreter. That is PVM. Later, if that particular code is there in the machine level language, it will be taken by microprocessor, you will get the output. How many of them understood this? Yes, sir. Completely understood, sir. Whatever you taught in today's class. Introduction to object orientation. What is object? What is class? What is orientation? We understood, sir. Next, how many data types are there in Python? We understood, sir. And what is has part? What is does part? In order to handle has part, we have data types. In order to handle does part, we have methods. That also we understood, sir. Similarly, there are totally 14 data types there in Python. All these 14 data types in detail I'll speak. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Guys, you can expect one question from this advanced data type as well as this particular basic. I think nobody will going to ask you the question on basic, but you can expect one question from interview. That is from the interview perspective, any of the question can be asked from this particular topic. Okay. Guys, are you able to understand? Am I going too fast? Guys, could you people rate slow, fast, medium? Please rate in the chat box. Don't tell me, sir, you will be speaking very fast. Don't worry, you will get adjusted. If you want, I can just reduce the speed. But if you are telling, sir, your voice is not proper, change the voice. No, I can't change the voice. It's a God gift that I got. Okay, slow. Okay, medium, slow. I think nobody is telling fast. Don't worry. From Monday onwards, I'll increase the pace. Okay. Anyhow, we'll be getting 1.5 hours. Right? Yep. Hard disk is a permanent storage device which is used to store the data. RAM is a temporary storage device which is used to store the data while executing the task, specific task. Okay. Now, if you could respond, yes, I can proceed further. Shall I proceed further? If you could respond, I can just proceed further. Yes, I don't remember whether I have given the features of Python. Did I give features of Python? I don't really. When I have given that features of Python, on which day I have given that? First day. Okay. Okay. Features of Python I have given. Yes. Did I speak anything about platform dependent, platform independent? Did I speak anything about that? No, right? I think in Python. No. In Python class, I'm asking. Guys, in Python class, did I speak anything about platform dependent, independent? No. Okay. No, don't worry. I'll speak. What is there in that? I'll speak about that. Guys, in today's class, what you have learned, if you ask me, introduction to object orientation is what you have learned. If I'm not wrong, introduction to object orientation is what you have learned. After introduction to object orientation, you have learned something called as has part, does part. Yes or no, you have learned something called as has part and does part. Correct me if I'm wrong. You got to know what is class. You got to know what is object. You got to know what is orientation. Next, you have learned something called as has part and does part. Next, data types in Python. Data types in Python. Data types in Python. Next, types of data types in Python. Types of data types in Python is what you have learned. At last, you have learned something called as memory allocation of Python. A basic overview. I'm not saying in detail. A basic overview is what you have learned. Let me just do one thing. Let me just okay, guys. In next session, I will be speaking in detail. Either I'll start with the coding part. I think let me start with the coding part. Let me start with the first one. What is the first data type? Yes, please do respond. What is the first data type? I want you to respond. Integer, float, complex. I'll explain these things in the next class because I have to speak regarding a few things in today's class. Let me just do one thing. Could you people please give me your attendance now itself? Can I expect you people to provide the attendance now? As no one I'm telling, don't get exited from the session after providing the attendance. Why? Because few important things is what I have to discuss. Okay, I think already one person has given the attendance. Who is that? No need to tell the name. Anyhow, same link, sir. As have you observed that? Anybody? Whatever the link that I'm giving, same link, right? As who will create for every day? Same link. I'm just deleting the data and taking the attendance. That's it. Okay. Please provide the attendance, everyone, without miss. Later, if you get a call saying that, or if you get a message saying that you haven't attended the class, at that point of time, don't tell me that, sir, I have attended, but I forgot to provide the attendance, sir. Don't tell me that. Please provide the attendance. Take 1 minute of time. And what you felt regarding the class, whether it is good, bad, average, provide that. As well as please mention if you have any queries. 100% our team will contact you if you have any queries by the end of the week. Still many of them are yet to provide the attendance. I don't know why you people hesitate to provide the attendance. Guys, you might be thinking like while teaching the basics, it should be slow. 100% I can understand. I'll make a bit slow when I'm going with the basics. This is a demo class. Why? Because many of them will think like we are giving 1 hour. What he is giving back in 1 hour, I should not go in a fast. I should not go in a slow, medium. But once I start the actual batch, it will be in the proper pace where everybody will be able to understand. Is that clear? Okay, still I can't see the attendance. Don't worry. Many of them are asking, sir, what is the cost of the course? I'll tell you today. 100% I'll tell you. Don't worry about that. At least have you gone through the brochure? That's very important. That's the duty that you should have done. Have you gone through the brochure? I think many a times I told. If not, at least after the class, please go through the brochure. Okay, still I'm not able to see the attendance. Because I can see how many participants are there and I can see how many people would have given the attendance. Still, 45 people are yet to provide the attendance. Please do provide. I don't know what stops you to provide the attendance. Okay, is that done by providing the attendance, everyone? Is that done? Seriously, daily I can't wait until you provide the attendance. And just provide the attendance. Okay. Fine. Cool then. Now let me just do one thing. Let me share you the screen. Please tell me whether people are able to see the screen or not. Are you able to see the screen? Yes or no? Are you people able to see the screen? Yes or no? Now let me just tell you from today onwards, the admission gonna start. Already, I got some. I think just 1 hour back, I just started admission for Java. I think not even 1 hour. I think 1 hour back exactly. Already, I got not few, almost more than 15-20 admissions that has been done for Java. Guys, now I'm telling first come first serve, because I believe in quality, not quantity. Fine, I believe in quality. That's the reason. First come first serve. Maybe there might be a number of students, but I'll tell you what is the limit for the batch. When it comes to admission details, already you might be aware of what is the course fees. If you inquire this course fees, guys, before displaying the course fee, let me just do one thing. Let me just display you the brochure of that. Let me just display the brochure. Okay, I hope you people are able to see the brochure. You please go through it. If not, I'll just post it in the group. You please go through the brochure. Now, guys, regarding this brochure, maybe in detail, if I start explaining, it will take around half an hour to explain regarding the brochure. Simply, I have to read the content. Nothing you'll be able to understand. Fine. You just please go through the brochure. Let me just give you the overview. If I scroll down, when it comes to Python, I'll be doing 6 real-time projects. When it comes to Django REST API, I'll be doing 4 real-time projects like Amazon, Zomato, Book My Show application. Next, you just see the overview of the content, whatever I have given. 400 hours plus content, more than 400, less than 500. When it comes to core Python and advanced Python only, I'll be taking 140 hours. For Django REST API project, I'll be taking 80 hours. SQL, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, I think basics of JavaScript has to be included here. Python programming as well as DSA, which will be for about 80 to 90 hours. Aptitude, which will be for about 80 hours. The main thing, once you're done with the course, mock interview, placement preparation, resume activity for 20 hours. More than that, it will take. One more very important thing that I have missed. Sir, what is that, sir? If you observe this particular topic that I have given, only for this batch, 2 things I'm giving, guys. I'm providing 5,000 rupees worth manual testing content for free of cost if you take up Python full stack or if you take up Java full stack. Fine. As well as we will be doing in detail about version control tool. That is for sure. This is what the overview of the content. Now, if you could find any institute in Bangalore, any institute, it might be XYZ, any institute in Bangalore, where they'll be providing this full stack course, whatever I'm providing. Normally, I'm telling guys, it's whichever the course that you take, it will be for 4 to 5 months of duration. 4 to 5 months of duration. If you belong to 6th sem, 8th sem, during your examination, you will be having the holiday. After that, I'll tell you the plan when the time comes. If you take up Python full stack, I think now you people are there in Python full stack course, right? That's the reason. If you take up Python full stack, it will be 13,999 rupees. Is that fine? Guys, if you could find any institute which is giving less than 30,000, please bring it to my notice. I'll give this course for free of cost. But content should be same. Number of hours should be same. Is that fine? Is that clear? Why? Because one person told, sir, in Udemy, sir, Udemy, I purchased Python full stack for 500 rupees, sir. Because ultimately, Udemy course will start from 500 rupees to maximum 2,000 rupees or 2,500 rupees. Correct, right? That's how the range will be there. I just asked him, okay, you're learning Python full stack. What is the number of hours? He told 35 hours, sir. As you tell me, there is a difference between 35 hours and 400 plus hours. Yes or no? Correct, right? Correct, right? Guys, this 35 hours, if you are aware of 400 hours, then it will be like a revision. Fine. Okay. I think for 6th semester student, I think Ashwin, whatever you're telling is correct. I'll tell you. Fine, maybe whenever you're doing the admission, please do contact me. Now, if you take up Java full stack, guys, Python full stack, including data structure and aptitude, is what you people are seeing here. Is that clear? I know many of them will be like, sir, how can you finish 400 hours in 5 months? Going ahead, I might increase the time to 15 minutes. Now 1 hour I'm taking, you got adjusted to my teaching style. I'll be taking 1.5 hours from Monday. Later, I'll be increasing 15 minutes. Is that fine? Like that. And one more thing, maybe if I take a couple of weekends, I'll be able to do it. Is that fine? Okay, cool. Next, if you take up Python, it is 13,999. Java, same thing. Python testing, same thing. Somebody might be there. Sir, I want both Development and testing, sir, because I don't restrict myself to become a developer. I don't restrict myself to become a test engineer. Let me have a option for me. If I get a job in Python, I'll go it. If I get a job as a test engineer, I'll go for that. If you take up a combo course, that is Python full stack software testing will be starting from this Monday, coming Monday, that is day after tomorrow, on 17th April, morning 6:30 to 7:30. The fixed time will be 6 to 7:30. Only for the demo class, 6:30 to 7:30, 1 hour. If you take up Python full stack and software testing, 20,000, you need not to pay 28,000. It would be 20,000. Similarly, if you take up Java full stack plus software testing, it would be around 20,000. Is that fine? This is what the account details of mine. There is Sandesh HS, account number, IFSC code, bank name, and you can pay the amount via PhonePe, Google Pay, Paytm. Once you've done the payment, please send me the screenshot to my WhatsApp number as well as to my mail ID, where I can send you the invoice. Is that fine? Yes, please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? Do one thing. Take the screenshot of this. Let it be there in your mobile phone. Take the screenshot of this. Take the screenshot. Soon after the class, you can just start doing the admission. No issues in that. Okay. If you have taken the screenshot, very good. As now I'm telling, if you're sending the amount, please make sure that you'll send it for a right account. If you miss the number, and if many of them done, that's the reason I'm saying it's a common sense, minimum common sense. Fine. You tell me, guys, if you commit a mistake while typing the account number, while typing the IFSC code or whatever it may be, is that my mistake if you lose the amount? You tell me, is that my mistake? Is that my mistake? Well, literally, it happened 8 months back. I think one person was literally like, he got angry on me, like, okay, you could have told me to PhonePe, Google Pay. I told, fine, that option is also there. I'm not forcing anyone to go with the account. You have a PhonePe, yes, well and good. Fine. Guys, so that's the reason. If you're paying in any of the mode, do one thing, send 100 rupees. Even if you lose, nothing you're going to lose, correct, right? Send 10 rupees or 100 rupees or 1 rupee, whatever, fine. When it comes to account, at least send 100 rupees, fine. Once you get the confirmation or thumbs up from my side, yes, I received. Just ping me in WhatsApp. You know my WhatsApp number, right? This is my WhatsApp number. Once you do some 50 rupees or 100 rupees transaction, get a hands up or thumbs up with me. Yes, I received. Then you pay the complete amount. I think that works fine. Yes or no? I think that's the best thing, so that double verification will happen. Again, if you're going in a very other manner, I can't help. Once you do the payment, please send me the screenshot. Now, many people will be doing, sir, after the admission, what is the next process? You will be added for a Slack group of a respective course, fine, where WhatsApp is not the mode of communication, fine. If you want to share the file, if you want to share the software, if you want to share the Zoom credentials to attend the classes on a daily basis, everything will be done within a Slack group. I'll create a separate Slack group for you people. I think a separate team is there. They'll take care about that. Once you do the admission, it will happen. You will get the recorded access of a live batch, whatever I'm taking, in website as well as mobile application. We have a website as well as we have a mobile application. If you want, I can show it. Just a minute. Guys, just tell me whether you people are able to see the browser or not. Yes or no? Are you able to see the browser? Yes or no? I hope yes, right? Yep. Now this is a website, www.studyonlinetech.com. If you sign up by creating the account, then if you just come under courses section, then what will happen? I think Python, I don't remember I have created. I think the new batch, I don't know. I don't remember whether I have created or not. Yes, Python Sandesh. Fine. See here, if you come Python full stack, I know it's 15,000 it's showing. See here, like Java full stack, I'll create Python full stack. Don't worry, Python full stack. This is an old batch. Python full stack 2023 is what I'll create. Fine. No need to pay 15,000. As every time I used to take 15,000 only for this batch. Many of the college students are attending. That is the reason 14,000 is what you have to pay. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no? Please do respond. I'll give the manual access where you need not to purchase again here. Is that fine? Where you'll be able to see the videos, like how it is there for Java, you'll be able to see for Python. Similarly, mobile also you'll be able to access. And if you try to do some malpractice there, your account will be permanently blocked. Trust me, permanently blocked. I know what kind of malpractice you can do. Macha, I will join. You give your credentials. I'll watch the video. You're a student. I'm a developer who developed the application. Your complete IP address along with your mobile or laptop that you're accessing, everything, I have the data, fine. If you try to do multiple login, trust me, if you try to do some malpractice, once I will ignore. Although I might be getting some automatic mail, I need not to monitor that. For my mail, I'll get that this user is trying to malpractice. One time I'll ignore. Okay, fine. Let me do it for first today. Again, if the same thing continues, trust me, no warning, no nothing. Your account will be blocked permanently. Permanently, your account will be blocked. You have to just watch the live class if you wish. Is it fine? As if somebody is doing out of passion, you should respect that. Okay. And last day for admission will be this Sunday for this batch. I know many of them will be like, sir, how come it is possible to pay 14,000, that too in the mid of a month, sir? I can understand. Seriously, I can understand. That's the reason. You just pay 4,000 now. Guys, if you really want to pay, if you have 14,000, pay it, no issues, and get your admissions done. If you don't have that 14,000 in a single shot, pay 4,000 and get the admissions done within Sunday. Rest of the amount has to be paid within May first week. Is that clear? Please do respond. Many of them were asking EMI option. Don't ask 2 EMI, 3 EMI. I'm not running any GT and all. Just to take 1,000, 2,000 and all. I'm not a kind of a person who will call a student that you haven't done the admission. No. You have to remember within May first week and you have to do it. Is that clear, guys? I hope it's clear for everyone. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no? Regarding the admission process. Okay. Soon after the class, if you want to do for Python full stack, go ahead. Java full stack, go ahead. Once you do the admission, 100%, I'll call you and I'll make sure that these two things will be done for you. Is that clear? From Monday onwards, if you have not done the admission, trust me, please don't feel bad. You'll not be allowed for the class. Is that fine, guys? And if you want to take some time, just give me a call. Guys, if you have any concerns towards what I can tell, the admission process or the amount, please do call me. Now only I'm telling, please don't call me by asking discount. Trust me, no. Trust me, no. Why? Because first of all, I'm taking very minimal. When compared to others. Already you are aware of that. I hope you are aware of that. Okay. Now we'll just do one thing, guys. Let me just halt the technical discussion. Before halting the technical discussion, will that be fine if I show you some video for 2 minutes? Will that be fine? As I'm asking you people, will that be fine if I show you some 2 minutes video? Okay, I think if you would have attended Java class, same video is what I'm going to play. Because you should understand. Okay, just listen and observe. Just listen and observe. Okay. How many of them understood? Yes, please do respond. How many of them understood the meaning of the video? I want you to respond. How many of them understood? Yes, it's pretty simple. Fine. I need not to again reiterate what he told in the video. You tell me, guys. After 4 to 5 months, one fine day you'll get a job. That means after completing the course or after your engineering or before your engineering, one fine day you'll get a job. Do you think you got a job because of one day or because of 4 to 5 months of effort that you had put? Please tell me the answer. Because of that day or because of 4 to 5 months effort? 4 to 5 months effort. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct, right? Because that is the reason you have to just keep nourishing yourself. You have to keep watering yourself. That means watering means don't go to washroom and it's not that fine. Just update yourself. Learn something step by step, step by step, step by step. Guys, I can bet, I can challenge. In 5 days of class, whatever you have attended, 5 hours, what you have given, I hope I have given some amount of knowledge. Yes or no? Some amount of knowledge I have given. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like that, if you give me 400 hours, then you can just imagine the level of knowledge what I can give. Fine. It's up to you whether you have to take up the things or not. Decide. Fine. Inform your friends who want to learn Python full stack or Java full stack or software testing. This Sunday will be the last date. And now you can't say like, sir, 4,000 also I'm not able to pay. You have paid lakhs together for your college. Fine. And if it is something you'll pay couple of what I can tell, thousands, fine. In order to upskill yourself, this is the right investment on you. Is that fine? And tomorrow also I'll be taking the demo class. Tomorrow also a continuation will be there. Tomorrow also, assume that if you haven't paid tomorrow, till tomorrow, if you haven't paid, no need to worry, attend tomorrow's class, but from Monday will not be all. Is that clear, guys, for everyone? I want everyone to attend tomorrow, irrespective of whether you have done your admission or not. Is that clear? Guys, please do respond in the chat box. Is that clear? Okay, cool. I think it's Friday night, right? I see. Friday night. And it doesn't mean that I don't have friends. It doesn't mean that I don't know where I have to go. It doesn't mean that I don't know how to party. Fine. I'm done and dusted in my life. I have seen everything. And I know my priorities. It doesn't mean that I don't enjoy in my life. Trust me. Let me not discuss all those things. Fine. Because when it comes to class, when it comes to teaching, I have discipline. I have few ethics in my life. When it comes to teaching, that's the reason it will come out of my mouth. What are the content that has to become? Guys, do you think teaching is an easy profession? You tell me. Teaching is an easy profession. Yes or no? Trust me, no. But if you love, trust me, yes. If you have passion, if you love what you're doing, it's a very easy profession. But effort should be there. Guys, if there are 350 students who are attending Python full stack course now, please tell me. It might be my 1 hour. It might be my 1 hour or it might be my 1.5 hour. But don't you think I have to give value for 350 hours? Will you agree with my point? I have to give value for 350 hours. Yes or no? That's correct, right? If 350 students are attending, don't you think I have to give value for the 350 students? That's the reason I'll be very conscious when it comes to class or when it comes to content. Never I'll commit a mistake. This is not my first batch. Fine. Even though if it is my first batch, I have never committed a mistake. Why? Because I know my responsibility as a trainer. Fine. It's a challenge for other people. If you take up this course, your job, I'll take care. But the thing is, effort should be there. Guys, many of them will be asking like, sir, is there 100% job guarantee? You tell me. If I tell you 100% job guarantee, join this course. If you believe my words and if you join, 100% job guarantee. And if you don't attend the class, if you don't practice, if you don't write the notes, if you are irregular to the course, is it possible for me to place you? Or is it possible for you to get a job? Because you tell me, please be very frank. Like both of us are mature, right? Let's talk the reality. Do you think is it possible for a person who is not attending the class to get placed? No, 100% no. But if you give your 100%, from my side, I'm damn sure I'll give 200%. And if you give your 100%, it's very simple, guys. 20% attend the class. 20% you have to attend the class. Remaining 20% will go. You have to write the notes. 20% revise what you have learned. Another 40% practice whatever you have learned and revised. Is that fine? If you do such things, trust me, you will get a job. But you have to worry about getting knowledgeable. Is that fine? Okay, many of them will be like, sir, I got an internship, sir. In another company, I got an internship in that company, sir. Fine. Guys, when it comes to internship, there are three types. First one, free internship, where you need not to give anything, they will not give anything. But if you're not giving anything, don't you think they'll make you to work on the data segregation, data calling? That's what they will extract the work from you, correct, right? If they're paying you some 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, you might feel like, oh, 5,000 I got from some person. But you have successfully wasted your 1 month or 2 months just by going to the company, having a cup of coffee and chatting around with your friends, learning nothing. And if you're paying to some company and if you're going for the internship, just ask for yourself whether it is useful or not for your placement activity, for your career. Forget about placement. You can get a job even from your college or without your college help. Also, you can get a job. That's not a very big deal. Think about your future. If I give my time, valuable time, guys, trust me, earning 14,000 is not a difficult task. Trust me, it's not at all. Not at all. Let me be very clear. Again, can you take that 4 to 5 months, whatever I have given? No, right? That's the reason. Please be wise. Invest your time on the right people, right content is what I would like to tell. So let me not take much of your time because even I have to. I think you can see, right? If you just see my attire, you can get to know it's a Friday night. But even I have to go with my friends, and I just told them that I'll be there at 10:30, but it's already 10:30. Fine, guys. Tomorrow we'll discuss the technical stuff as well as whatever the doubt that you have. Is that clear? Thank you so much for attending the class. Have a great day. Tomorrow we'll meet. Bye-bye. Same time. Tomorrow also same time. Same credentials. Okay. Bye-bye.